Hi, everybody. Hello. How are we all doing? Very impromptu live. I think there's only a handful of people in chat right now. So hello, Pepper Jackie and Hexen, and everybody else who is trickling in. It seems like there's only a few people around right now, but I wanted to do this video, and I really didn't have time to do all of the editing and things I usually do. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to do a little impromptu live while I have time right now. And it's on the front of my mind to talk about a lot of the things that are going on right now and the things that I am putting into practice in my everyday routine to take care of my own health and wellness, as well as, my mental sanity and all of that. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dustin. I am the Modern Metaphysic Man, and my channel is about everything esoteric, occult, holistic, the whole nine yards. We talk about everything from herbs and crystals to tarot and oracle to Kabbalah and ritual magic. So if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out and checking out this video. So my goal with this video is to really kind of talk about the herbs and essential oils and things like that that I'm now supplementing with to help my body and to help it build a stronger immune system. And the essential oils that I'm using in my space, and some of my changes that I've made to sort of my daily rituals and routines to sort of ease this sort of anxiety and stress. Being an empath personally, when the whole world is having a panic attack, it kind of can feel like the walls are crumbling in at times. And so if you are an empath, I'm also going to talk about some crystals and things like that to help you ground yourself and stay centered in this trying time. Things have escalated really rapidly here in the United States. Most public schools and things like that have closed. All of the restaurants in Colorado, bars, all of that, they're all closed, and you literally can only order takeout. And most places aren't even letting you go in. You have to like pick it up at the curb, and you have to pay ahead of time. So there's like no cash exchange. It's crazy out there. And so it's really important right now that we're, like all of us, right, are exercising a level of self-care. In addition to, washing our hands probably more than we need to, and sanitizing everything and all of that stuff. The extent of the pandemic here in Colorado is we have about 190 confirmed cases. We've had about 2,500 people tested, and there have been 2 deaths associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, or the coronavirus as it is commonly known. So yeah, it's getting a little crazy out there. The panic buying, Colorado was ranked 6th in the nation for the worst cases of panic buying. So that's kind of crazy. All of the schools and all that kind of stuff are all closed. Most schools have gone on to online only after spring break for the rest of the semester. Most of the public schools probably will not be opening again until the fall. So yeah, it's a little crazy, and it's important for all of us to take care of ourselves. Now, I do want to make a kind of a big disclaimer, a couple of disclaimers before we kind of really dive into the juice of this. If you're watching it live, awesome. If you're watching this in the future, awesome. I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. Any of the advice what's the word I'm looking for? Suggestions that I give in this video are simply that, right? You should always consult your own healthcare provider, your professional provider, whether it be a doctor or whatever, before you start taking any new medications or herbal supplements. And because I am talking about herbal supplements today, I want to make that very clear that you should not just run out and grab these. You should definitely talk to your doctor and make sure that these are okay to take for you. If you have any known allergies, or if you're taking anything else, right, there can be interactions. So please, 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 this is advice. This is what's working for me. And this is advice that I've been giving, and I am here to pass it along and share with you, but I am in no means, or anyway, a doctor. So please keep that in mind. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is, if you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, if you're in the live chat right now, or if your everyday practices to help deal with this pandemic crazy thing that's going on right now, right? I think the more we can help each other and give each other advice, the better off we're going to be. So, I see we're getting a little choppy here with the internet. So let me see if I can fix that a little bit. And we'll keep going. If it gets bad, let me know in chat. But it seems okay for now. So there's a few things I want to talk about that I've kind of added to my my daily practice in terms of what I'm good on your end. Awesome. That's all I want to hear. There's a few things in terms of my daily practices as far as what I'm taking holistically to help my body, and that is herbal supplements that are both immune system boosting and known to be antiviral in nature. For those of you who don't know, I am a tarot reader professionally, and I read professionally on the weekends at an apothecary here in Colorado. It's run by this wonderful woman named Anna Papini, who is a master herbalist, and she is absolutely amazing. Hi, Karen. I have not posted my ashwagandha tea yet, and I will. It is on my list of things to do, but when the pandemic thing started, things got a little crazy. So that's kind of gone onto the back burner for right now, but I do still plan on putting that up. And I do have tea, right? And I thought this mug was very appropriate. Keep calm and drink tea for today. So let's talk about the herbs that I'm taking personally to help build my immune system and build a space in my body that viruses don't like, right? The whole idea behind this is to make my body inhospitable to anything that may come my way, flu, whatever, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is the immune system boosting things. And a lot of these things Anna highly recommends. In fact, a lot of the tinctures I'm going to talk about today are things that Anna recommended on her Instagram, and I'm going to put that in the description box below. But if you just look up Anna's Apothecary on Instagram, you'll find the video that I'm talking about. I think it's the second post. It's like one post back from the most recent one, where she's talking about the things that she recommends people take. So some things I am definitely thankful for her advice on, and then some other things I'm taking based on my own personal experience and knowledge of my own body, right? And these things are very much my own personal opinions. Again, I'm not a doctor. Take everything with a grain of salt. Talk to your doctors before you start any herbal supplements or anything like that. So disclaimers aside, the first thing I'm doing is every night before bed, I'm actually taking a teaspoonful of elderberry syrup. Elderberry syrup is a very well-known herb to build immune system and help support your immune system. This syrup that I specifically get, which is by Honey Gardens, has raw honey, apple cider vinegar, and a couple other herbs inside of it in addition to the elderberry. So I've been taking 1 teaspoon of this every day before bed, which I absolutely love, and it's nice and sweet. It's not like gross, like nasty cough syrup, but it's wonderful. I take this a lot when I get colds, and it's fantastic. So I've been taking this every night before bed. Sorry if that was loud. Now, as far as teas go, right, and I am going to talk about the tea that I am drinking right now, because I love it. Is it tasty? Yeah, it's tasty. It's tart. It's a very tart thing. Don't expect like blueberries or strawberries. It's a very tart berry, but it's a good thing, and I love it. All of these things, I can tell you right now, most of this stuff is stuff I've had on hand for a while. I do know we did just go into a natural grocers recently, and they did still have quite a few of these things in stock, but it's going to vary depending on where you are and how holistic your sort of community is, right? Colorado is a very holistic place, and so I was actually quite surprised to see some of these things still in stock. But yeah, this is what I take every day before bed. Now, that being said, my father's calling me and I don't know why, so I'm going to text him really quickly and let him know I'm doing a video. I'm live right now. So, now I am taking 4 different tinctures right now. in combination to changing my usual tea drinking habits to more herbal teas instead of caffeinated teas. Um, and making sure that, you know, I'm drinking a lot of water and a lot of other fluids. So the tea I'm specifically drinking right now is, and this is just, I get this brand because I really like it and it's convenient for me, which is, it's called Traditional Medicinals. And this is the Echinacea Plus. So it has Echinacea as well as elderberry in it. So it is a very sort of immune supporting and building tea. The Echinacea also does have some antiviral properties, so that also helps kind of build that into your body, into your sort of ecosystem, right? As far as the tinctures I'm taking, I am of course taking Echinacea Gold Seal, which again, Echinacea is one of those. It's one of those herbs that is just pretty well known, right, for cold and flu season. It really helps build your immune system. It really helps support your immune system if you do get sick. And so the tinctures, what I do is I take one dropper full of tincture, which, just so you guys can see, is basically what you can get when you squeeze it. So it's not like full, right? But it's what you can get when you squeeze it. So I take one dropper full of each of these in water. If you don't know what a tincture is, the best way to explain it is they take medical grade alcohol and they basically fill up a large container with herbs, and then they pour the alcohol over, and then they let it steep for a certain amount of time. And the alcohol pulls all of the herbal goodies, right, out of the herbs and suspends it in the alcohol. So tinctures are actually one of the most potent forms of herbal supplements that you can take. And they're also the ones that are most easily and readily absorbed into your body because it is in a liquid form. So my daily tonic, which I take every morning, includes one dropper full of the following 4 tinctures. So again, Echinacea. Now this next one I'm going to talk about specifically for its antiviral properties. Lemon balm is also known as a very antiviral herb. There's several studies that have shown that it has successfully combated different forms of simplex viruses as well as influenza viruses, and it is also a very calming herb to the nervous system, so it will help sort of ease the anxiety and like looming depression that is coming from this kind of state of the universe right now. You can put elderberry syrup in your tea. I don't think there's anything wrong with that to my knowledge. So I do one dropper full of lemon balm, one dropper full of echinacea. The next thing I include in this, and these last 3 outside of the echinacea are the 3 that Anna is highly recommending for people to take at the apothecary. So lemon balm, licorice, which is also a very antiviral herb. It's very supportive of the endocrine system. The thing about licorice, though, that you want to be careful is if you take it every day, do not take it for more than a week. It will cause you to retain water. If you have existing heart conditions and things like that, high blood pressure, please do not take this. Again, make sure you're consulting your doctors, physicians, medical professionals before you start any herbal supplements that you are unfamiliar with. But I take a dropper full of this as well in my tonic, and then as well as olive leaf. And olive leaf basically is like a catalyst, so it's going to support and kind of help all the other herbs do their job. It is also antibacterial, and what's the word I'm looking for? It helps to kill, like, it's not antibacterial, but it's um, anti it's antimicrobial. It has like it helps fight free radicals and things like that. Um, so this is also a part of the tonic. Anna does a much better job being a master herbalist of explaining why she's recommending these three specific things: lemon balm, licorice, and olive leaf. And I'll post a link to that in the description box below, so you guys can check that out after the video. Let's see. But the only thing that I'm adding to that is Echinacea. Now, she's also recommending people take osha root. Osha root's really hard to get a hold of. It's a native plant here to the sort of southwest region, the Rocky Mountain region. It's really hard to get a hold of in general. And right now, like, it's sold out everywhere. The Anna's Apothecary is sold out of it and everything like that. I personally don't even have any in my personal herb stores. And osha root is great for flus and colds as an antiviral, and as an immune supportive herb and things like that. So if you do have osha root, whether it's in a tincture or whether it's in root form and you can take it as a tea, she's very much highly recommending you take that as well. So my daily tonic every morning, again, is one dropper full of Echinacea, olive leaf, licorice, and lemon balm, all for their immune system supporting properties and antiviral properties. Yes, olive leaf is great for cholesterol, which is good. The other thing is the licorice and the olive leaf are really good for your respiratory systems as well, which is really good. And olive leaf is kind of known as an active responder, right? So, but yeah, they're all really good. Is lemon balm really lemon? No, lemon balm is actually it's in the mint family of herbs. So it's an herb. This actually is what lemon balm looks like in herbaceous form. So it literally kind of just looks like mint. And I've been putting this in my teas as well. So when I drink this Echinacea and elderberry tea, I do add lemon balm to it to have a little extra kick in it, which I really appreciate. So those are the sort of herbal supplements. In addition to my normal, I take a once daily men's multivitamin as well as a B complex. And then those are the herbs that I've been adding to my supplementation to help build and protect my immune system and build the antiviral capacity of my body. Now, as far as essential oils go, and aromatherapy, to help calm myself as well as to sort of purify the air, I have been basically using my my essential oil diffuser to diffuse cinnamon leaf, which is really good. It does have known antiviral properties, as well as bergamot. Bergamot is a very well-known antiviral essential oil. It's been shown to kill airborne viruses, which is really good. And I also am adding eucalyptus. Now, the sort of formula I've been using for this is 3 drops of cinnamon to 6 drops of bergamot, or 6 drops of eucalyptus, oh my goodness, to 10 drops of bergamot. So again, 3 of cinnamon, 6 of the eucalyptus, and 10 of the bergamot. And that, again, I'm just throwing in my diffuser. All of those things do provide kind of an uplifting sort of sensation when it comes to your body, right? And how your body sort of reacts to it. So it is a good, it's kind of an upper, which is good when you're dealing with a lot of these like feelings of depression and anxiety that come with these tower times, as I call the video that we're in, right? And so those are that I literally have constantly running either in here in my office or in my bedroom at night. And I do that with distilled water in a diffuser. You can also do it in an oil burner. You just put water in the oil burner and then add your essential oils to that. And then you usually light a candle underneath of it. That's also a really good way to get it into the air, which is fantastic. So those are all of those things. And again, I'll list all of this stuff out in the comments and description box below as well. Isn't bergamot in Earl Grey tea? It is. That is what gives Earl Grey its flavor. Earl Grey is black tea with bergamot, oil of bergamot. It's not essential oil, it's just oil of bergamot. That's the key difference. You don't want to just go sprinkling this on your tea and thinking you're going to get, Earl Grey, because that's not how that works. I don't put stones in my diffuser just because I have a sonic diffuser, so it's not designed to really kind of have heavy things in it bouncing around. So I just do that because I don't want to ruin it. It depends on the type of diffuser that you have. If I'm oil burning, I have put crystals in my oil burners to kind of infuse and impart the energy of the crystal into the oil burner while I'm burning the oil, and that's okay too. But for my diffuser, I personally just don't put them in there because I don't want to ruin it. But yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're using, right? Because they're all different. They're all made differently. Some of them, like mine's a sonic one, which basically what it means is it's not using heat to heat the water and turn it into steam. It's actually vibrating the water using sonic waves at such a high frequency that the water molecules actually separate and turn into vapor. So yeah. Oh, hello, Tarot Oracle. How are you? We're just talking about the end of days. No, I'm kidding. We're just talking about some herbs and things like that I've been taking to kind of help build and support my immune system. And we're going to talk about some crystals and some things that I've just been doing daily for better self-care. So yeah. Just to recap, right? As far as teas go, I've been replacing all of my normal sort of caffeinated teas. I am still drinking coffee in the morning because I do need caffeine, but sort of throughout the day, I've been replacing those with different forms of Echinacea and elderberry teas. This is one by Traditional Medicinals. This is another that I use, which is by Republic of Tea, which is the ribose elderberry tea, which I really like. So it's amazing. I love it. It smells so good. And I do add lemon balm to most of my teas. And most of the time when I'm doing this with this loose lemon balm is I just put the tea bag in and then I add the lemon balm in like a little metal strainer in the cup as well. And I just do like a teaspoon. Again, as far as like essential oils that I'm diffusing in my space right now, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and bergamot are what I'm using. And then my daily tonic that I take in the mornings is comprised of olive leaf, echinacea, licorice, and lemon balm, 1 dropper full of each in water for each of these tinctures. And that's kind of what I'm doing as far as that goes. And then at night, 1 teaspoon of elderberry syrup. To help kind of support all that stuff. Now, as far as crystals go, right? being an empath, right? I definitely feel it's actually really hard for me to go out in public places right now, especially really crowded public places. I had to go grocery shopping because I was running out of groceries, because I didn't panic buy and I didn't hoard like all the other crazy people. And so I literally just did my weekly grocery shopping last week and was like, okay, I got to go get more stuff now. And just the like ambient anxiety in the grocery store literally made me break out into sweats when I was in the grocery store. It was not fun. And so it really kind of reinforced to me like I need to be extra careful with where I'm placing myself and the energies I'm opening myself up to, especially during these times, right? Like, not only do I need to worry about other people's germs and gross stuff, but other people's anxieties and fears and things like that as well. And so a few stones that I do want to talk about as far as things that I've been using to ground myself is I have a couple different smoky quartz crystals. This one I've been carrying around in my pocket. It's just a double terminated point, which I really love. And I also have a piece of smoky quartz here from the Rocky Mountains, which I really adore. Smoky quartz is really good as a grounding stone. It's also a very protective stone when it comes to other people's energies and things like that. So it just keeps sticky bad energies off of you, which is good. So I've been carrying smoky quartz with me to kind of help ground me and protect me from other people's juju. If I do feel like I get sticky energy on me, I have been sort of taking time to either meditate or just sit for a few minutes with tourmaline. Tourmaline is like a sponge when it comes to negative energies and anxieties and things like that. So anytime I'm kind of feeling really like anxious, I'll just kind of grab this. I'll even just like hold it in my hand as I'm like reading or drinking tea or, surfing the internet, whatever, right? Just to kind of help ease the tension that's coming from basically the universal energies right now, which are all so anxious. And so that's really also been helping me. Yeah, our grocery store has been wiped out. I was very surprised to find what I did find when I found it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about were a couple of stones that are thought to support your immune system and things like that. So the first is one that now I keep by my bedside, which is green calcite. Now, calcite, specifically green calcite, is thought to fortify the immune system, and it also relieves sort of emotional stress, right? And it sort of confers peace onto your mind, right? It brings basically a sense of stability and self-confidence. And it's a stone that's also known to help you overcome your own sort of personal obstacles and things like that. So this I've actually been keeping by my bed. And then I also have been, I've moved this little piece of lepidolite, to my reading table / desk. And it's a strong purification tool that helps to dispel negative energy. And it's also a very calming stone. And it helps, it can actually help with like nervous tension and anxiety and depression and mood swings. It's actually a very balancing stone for people who have mood swings. It's actually often recommended to women who are going through their cycle and have very extreme mood swings, because it will help kind of mellow those things out. So that is lepidolite. This is a non-polished, this is a raw lepidolite stone, and it does have, it kind of has like a mica quality to it, right? It's very shiny and sparkly, which I really appreciate. So, yeah. Yeah, so lepidolite is another thing that I have really sort of been going to. Now, that being said, right, the last thing I wanted to talk about is powdered herbal extracts, which seem to be more readily available than normal herbs or even tinctures. Okay. Now, when we're talking about herbal extracts, right? Herbal extracts means that we're concentrating down the properties of the herb that we are working with into a form that we can ingest, right, to get the maximum benefit of that herb. Tea is a form of extracting, right? We're basically hot water extracting. So when you make tea, you're extracting the properties of the herb and suspending it in water, right? And then ingesting the water, which brings with it all of the properties of the herb, right? The oils, all of those things. Now, that's kind of the most basic way to take an herb, right? We can also ingest the herbs themselves in capsule form, which is another great way to do herbs, but those generally are capsules don't get as easily absorbed into the body, right? Your food, your body, your system doesn't always absorb 100% of whatever you're ingesting in those forms. Tea is kind of the next best thing to do, and then from there, the sort of the best thing you can do as far as like dosage and absorption rate is tinctures and extracts. Now, so I want to talk about a couple of different ways you can do that, right? This right here is lemon balm extract in powder form. So if you, for whatever reason, can't find tincture, you can look for these herbs in powdered extract form, which a lot of the apothecaries here in Colorado do have. And basically what this is it's kind of the same thing that they do with the liquid extracts, where they really concentrate down the herb, but it's in a powdered form. So you can add this to things like smoothies if you want, or whatever. You can even add this to baking. So like you could make muffins with like lemon balm in it. And then you can consume it that way, or you can even take it in as a tea. It will just be a very strong tea for that herb. So basically this is a 4-to-1 concentration, which means that it's 4 times as strong as a standard dose. Basically, if you were to take a teaspoon of this is a very gross generalization. If you were to take a teaspoon of this, it's about the equivalent is, it would be 4 of this to 1 of this, right? That's kind of the idea, right? Again, that's a gross generalization. Hydrosols are probably the weakest way to absorb herbal properties. Hydrosols typically are sprayed on the body or consumed. It's basically the same thing as a tea. Now there are debates whether or not one is better than the other, but as far as its ability to, and again, this is my understanding, as far as its ability to absorb into your system and the dosage level that you're getting, it's about the same as a tea. So if you're talking about like rose water, lavender water, generally speaking, like when I make my rose water, I fill a pot with roses. I literally cover it up with mineral spring water from Manitou. Here is the way I make mine personally, but cover with water, and then you simmer, you bring it to a boil, then turn it down to simmer, basically until the rose petals, all of the color is gone out of the rose petals. It depends on how big you're doing it, the time will vary, but you're basically just making tea, right? Same idea when you make tea, right? You boil water, you throw the tea bag in, and you let it steep. So they're about the same. Any other questions that I can try to answer? Again, I'm in no way, shape, or form, a master herbalist. No way, shape, or form am I a doctor or medical professional. These are just things I'm doing for myself that I know either have worked in the past or things that I know that work well for my body, and things that were advice that was given to me by someone who I respect very much, who is a master herbalist. So I wanted to share these things with you. So yeah. And as far as that goes, right, on top of all of these sort of herbs and things that I'm taking to sort of help build my immune system, to help calm my energies and, bring a sense of peace and serenity to myself, right? I am taking more time for me. Um, I'm very conscious of the fact that social media and media in general right now is not a great place to be. Even socially hanging out with people or talking to people, even if I'm hanging out with people online, like in a video game, right? A lot of people, even there, are talking about all this stuff. And so all of those things have an effect on me. So I'm definitely taking more time out for me just to sit quietly and read, or meditate, and things like that, and practicing self-care. I'm treating myself to, things that I normally wouldn't treat myself to as often as I am, right? Like I've had ice cream a couple times this week instead of just once. Making sure that I have chocolate around, and things like that, because it is a really trying time for a lot of people, and especially those of us who are spiritually attuned, right, and who are empathic and who can feel other people's emotions. It can be really intense, especially if you're newer to understanding your empathic abilities, or you don't have good control over them. I can't even imagine, right? So yes, exactly. And the withdrawing thing is good, right? Social distancing. It's what's advised right now. And that is that's a good thing. Yep, studying, exactly. I've actually made it quite a way through the fiction book I've been working on right now, is sitting right here, which is The Witcher. The Last Wish. I've actually been going through and rereading the Witcher series because I love the show so much that I had to go back and read the books. And then it's really funny because a lot of the people who I connect with in the online gaming space, who I play online video games with, are all working from home now, or have been temporarily laid off, or things like that. And so they found themselves with a ton of free time. And so a lot of us decided to play D&D. So we're getting together twice a week now, over the internet, to hang out and play Dungeons and Dragons, which is, it's super fun and it's relaxing. It's safe in terms of human engagement, right? Because we're doing it over the internet, and there's no face-to-face interaction there where germs can get involved, right? So that's another thing I've personally been doing to take time for me and have fun, and still interact socially with people, and things like that, which is it's crazy. In addition to that, there's a couple other things I do want to talk about. As far as the boutique goes, shipments and things like that for products that I carry and sell, if you are a local shopper for my boutique, those are slower. And of course, if you're buying things online, I did send out the email newsletter yesterday on my website for all of the new metaphysical items that are available on my website. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, you can go over there now and check those stuff out, right? So there's essential oil room sprays, ritual oils, spell kits, and all of the like is all over on modernmetaphysicman.com. And all of that is up and going. If you've bought stuff, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. I will be shipping things out as fast as I can on my little lonesome here. But that being said, the post office has advised me that shipments are running behind, as a lot of things in the transportation industry are being taken effect, are being hit by all of the crazy things that are happening. So yeah, it's like, it's so crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Catching up on what platform do you prefer playing D&D online? We're using Roll20 for the platform that we're using to play, which is fun. Been playing a lot more World of Warcraft lately. Yeah, I've been playing a lot more Black Desert Online lately than I normally do. Yeah, exercising does help a lot. I know a lot of gyms. My gym has completely shut down, so I've actually just taken. I live on about 20 acres, so I just do a big walk every day now, kind of around my property when it's not snowing. We're supposed to get more snow tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to. So it's like, oh no, I don't want to do it. No more snow. Can we have spring, please? I'm so over the snow. I don't want any more snow. But yeah, taking time to be outside. I go out and visit my chickens and things like that, which is really nice. Not only do I have to not worry about fighting people for eggs at the grocery store, I get them every day, but they're entertaining. So taking small moments like that for self-care, especially in all of this sort of crazy time, is really important, right? Not only do we need to be very fastidious about our our hand washing and how we interact with other people, and if you're not feeling well, please stay at home, and all of that kind of stuff, right? This also is going to have an effect on our minds, right, and our spirits, right? Our whole body well-being is a balance of mind, body, and spirit, right? And the world right now is hyper focused on the body, right? And so I'm trying to incorporate more spiritual things, again, with crystals and things like that, to kind of help me with aromatherapy, and then even more holistic approaches to preparing my body to be in a better state, right, as far as my immune system, and taking antiviral herbs to make my body not an attractive place for the herb to set up shop, or sorry, for the virus to set up shop, right, and put down roots, so to say. So yeah, that those are all things that I've really been doing to kind of help me just kind of live, right? Because it's weird. I usually ate out with friends or family 2-3 times a week, and that's not going to happen now for at least 6 weeks, which is crazy to think about. Like, it's crazy. It's just very bizarre. So all of these things, my goal in this is to share with you guys the things I'm doing, in hopes that it sparks some interest in you to kind of look into things, herbal supplements or things like that can help you, holistic medicines and things like that, as well as practices and holistic living practices that you can employ to help reduce the stress and anxiety and kind of general freak out level that's been going on in the world around us. Oh, thanks, Pepper Jackie. I try. But yeah, so that's what I had to share with you guys today. As far as the web store goes and things like that, again, I am going to try to get orders out as quickly as I can possible. There should be no hiccups with video readings. As far as tarot readings go, I am going to be doing a discount on my website for all of my tarot readings. So after this video goes down, if you're watching it in real time right now, this is the next thing I'm going to go do is to go put this sale basically up. But all of my video tarot readings are going to be 25% off. So if you are interested in having a tarot reading as far as to look into your health and well-being, I don't do medical readings, but I will do general well-being readings, meaning like, what should I focus on in terms of my well-being, during this time, right? And we can look at whether or not, like, okay, right now you really should focus on your mental well-being, or you should focus on your physical well-being, or you should focus on your your spiritual well-being, things like that, right? But I will take those kinds of questions, but I won't do medical questions, just to be very clear. It's outlined in my ethics. If you have a question, if you're not sure if what you want your reading on is within the ethical guidelines, you're always more than welcome to email me. But I will be putting all of my my readings on sale for 25% off. So that will be going on. I will make a social media post about that as well once it's live. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll also post in the comments of this video when that goes live, just so that everybody who's watching in the future knows when it's going on. That sale does not currently have an end date, but I'm thinking it will probably be about a week or two. So if you're interested in getting a reading, now's a great time to get one. And yeah, I think that's all I had to really share with you guys, as far as that goes, right? Does anyone have any questions for me about any of the things I discussed before we wrap things up? Again, I'll put details to all of the supplements and things that I mentioned today and the reasons why I'm taking them in the description box below, as well as in a comment post, and I'll pin that to the comments so that you guys can see it and reference it. And I hope all of you are doing incredibly well and taking care of yourselves and your family members and loved ones during these trying times, right? This very much is a tower moment for a lot of us, right? More for some than others. Some people are unfortunately losing their jobs or their businesses because of this, and I can't even imagine. Any tarot decks or spreads for these times? There is as far as spreads goes, there's some good tower spreads floating around the internet. I personally, when I've just been doing my daily spreads, I have been focusing on ways to focus my mind away from what's going on. So typically when I do my daily draw, I ask questions of like, what can I focus on at home today, right? Or what can I focus on for my business today? Or what can I focus on learning for today? Things like that. As far as decks go, I mean, I read with decks that I'm drawn to. Right now, the deck that I had been reading a lot with for my own personal draws is right here on my reading table, which is the Victorian Tarot by Taroko Studios. It's a really beautiful deck that sort of emulates like woodcuts and etchings and things like that, and it's all based on Victorian art. It's a completely black and white deck, which is just absolutely beautiful. But it's, yeah, this is, I think the thing that I've really enjoyed about reading with black and white decks right now is that, you know, it's easier for me to focus on the imagery and the message within the imagery than thinking about things like color associations and color theory and things like that, because with my background as an artist and someone who is very passionate about color, sometimes that makes my brain go a little too much. And so I've really just been trying to stay focused, right? To focus on me and what's important to me in my own space. You know, I even have a sticky note right here next to my computer monitor that says, focus on your own shit. To remind me, right, that, you know, I need to focus on my own stuff right now for my own sanity, right? It's not to say that I'm not thinking about other people or doing things for other people or anything like that. That's not the case, right? But it's just a gentle reminder. Well, for me, it's not so gentle, right? I need that little Aries kick in the butt. It's just a reminder for me, right? Don't let yourself spiral into these, you know, what if scenarios, but to really, you know, just focus on living day to day, right? Be in the moment, enjoy the moment, and not dwell on what was or what could be, right? Because that's not within our control. So yeah. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Well, I hope all of you are doing incredibly, incredibly well. If you came to join in the live discussion, I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope all of you are taking care of yourselves. If you guys need anything at all from me, if you just need a talk or anything like that, I'm here, right? I love talking to viewers. I love hearing from you guys. So please feel free to reach out to me. If you go to modernmetaphysicman.com and click the contact button, that's the easiest way to shoot me an email. If not, you can reach out to me to all of my social media places, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. All of the links to all of that stuff is in the down box below. So be sure to check all of that out. Again, I will be doing a sale on all of my tarot readings on my website. So if you are interested in getting a reading, you can book one of those through my website. And yeah, remember, more than ever right now, right? Everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. And right now we know more about the battles all of us are fighting than ever before. So be kind always. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you guys around. Bye.